another video about my exoskeleton. I want to talk a little bit more about it and give you a bit of a closer look at what I've built. In the first video where I was testing it and lifting the weight, made it to 320 pounds or 145 kilograms, you didn't really see much else of it. It looked like it was basically just this one arm, but actually I built both arms. It has both arms, and it's just that this one, the right arm, doesn't have the hydraulics plumbed with the hydraulic lines to the pump, so I can't move them right now. And I only have a hand on the left arm, and it's not even a real hand. It's just a bunch of pipes welded together to look like some fingers, so it'd look more interesting on the test. And the legs are here also, but the hydraulics are not attached to the legs. And I'll take the camera off the tripod and give you a closer look. Right now, the whole thing is attached to a gantry. And you can see this chain here and that chain there. The exoskeleton is hanging from those chains because the legs don't support it right now. And there's also a chain in the back with a crossbar attached to the bottom of the gantry, kind of like an anchor, so that when it was lifting the weight, it didn't kind of fall forward. So there's a lot more done to it than may have appeared, and I know in the video when I was lifting it was really rocking and shaking, but that's because it's hanging from these chains. So I plan to get the legs going, get the second arm going first of all, and then I'd like to stand up and start practicing walking around. I'm probably going to have to practice with it because I don't know how the balance is going to be. So that's something I'm going to have to work on. I'm pretty excited to get to that and start working on that. Also, I mentioned that it uses hydraulics, of course, and in the previous video you saw me manipulating levers with my right hand because the sensors are not in the arms yet. So when the exoskeleton's finished, I'm not going to have to manipulate levers. There's going to be a bunch of these solenoids, and I'm going to build a backpack type assembly to hold them, and it'll be like the circulatory system on the back, and instead of having to pull levers, these solenoids work by being like an electric lever. But that's another video to explain these. So I guess at this point I'll just take the camera off the tripod and give you a closer look. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is a better look of the exoskeleton. Here you can see both arms. There's the fake hand. I built it specifically to hold that bar. So it was just for the test. I wanted it to look a little more interesting, so I built that hand. There are the legs. They're not complete. They're missing some pieces. I'm focused more on the upper body right now. And the hydraulics. You can actually see on the left, right above, right there, that's a bracket for the legs, which is not attached. And there's a few other things which aren't attached right now. But I'll get to that. It's the arm with the bicep cylinder, the hydraulic cylinder. I chose to use hydraulics because they're so compact and efficient and so powerful. And I figured if forklifts and excavators and front end loaders and backhoes and tow trucks and all garbage trucks and all these other pieces of equipment use hydraulics, I'm going to use hydraulics because I want something really strong. So there's the second arm. There's no hand on this one. Here is the power unit with the controls that I was manipulating. This is a homemade power unit. And that motor, I actually, believe it or not, the official lift for one arm with this is 320 pounds or 145 kilograms. But unofficially, it could lift about 340 pounds. But then the motor stalls out. So the hydraulics can lift more. I just need a higher horsepower motor. Anyways, if I pan up, you can see the bar that the exoskeleton is hanging from on this gantry. That's why it was really rocking and swinging. You can see the shoulder hydraulic cylinders, which open and close the arms like giving someone a hug. Don't think you want to be hugged by an exoskeleton though, not one with hydraulics. So anyways, here's the side arm. This cylinder right here is the one which raises the arm, and there's a side view of the leg. This is the bicep cylinder, the rod for it, and the hand. You can see I built this to be very robust and handle a lot of weight. So I really want it to be strong. If we go around to the back, the lighting is not very good here, but maybe you'll be able to see. Here is how I anchored the exoskeleton in the back so it didn't pitch forward or fall forward when it was lifting the weight. But this bar right here is filling in for a cylinder which will be the spine, so when the rod extends, the exoskeleton will bend forward, like for picking something up. And when the rod retracts, it will stand upright again. So that's the spine, or the bowing action cylinder, picking things up off the floor. That was a closer look at the progress on my exoskeleton. I hope you enjoyed it. If you dream of a future with exoskeletons and superheroes, then check back often and keep up to date on my progress. I hope you always try to find something to look forward to, and I'll see you in the future.